in an attempt to clear up a few things, literally and figuratively, or perhaps just in this message. I have been thinking about how challenging it is when family members or individuals experience a death. The death is challenging enough in the absence of the individual, and sometimes there are circumstances around their death that make it even more challenging. The untimeliness of a death, a child being killed, or a child dying to childhood diseases, someone seemingly in perfect health and then no longer here. But there's something that happens after their death that I tell you causes some family members, individuals, to enter into another space that I believe is just unfair. A lot of things, depending on your culture and what the etiquette may be for death in your culture, impacts this next part. Individuals coming with their own agendas, their own ideas as to how the loved one should be celebrated, how their services, if any, should be held at all, and where they should be held. I believe the family of the deceased are the individuals. Let me carefully say this. In most instances, it is the family members, close friends of the individual that would plan the service. One thing that I know for certain is a funeral is an elective service just like a wedding. That's something I realized when I got married in 1989. When I realized that each of these items that you paid for, have you ever heard of a pew bow? That's a bow that you put on the pew of a church. And in 1989, they were very expensive. I can't imagine what they are today. So if, without knowing it, I was thinking that these are things that you do at a church. Well, I was correct. You do them at a church. You can do them in other places. However, if I've been showing my nails in this video, this is horrible because I need to take the polish off. It's been chipping after washing dishes. Stay focused. You pay to have a service, and a wedding is a service you choose to have, and so is a funeral. There are people that we find at each of these events that are pretty common, no matter how they're held out. There's an officiant at a wedding, and there's an officiant at a funeral service. There are attendees, there are flowers at both of these events usually. There may be a printed program, etc. All of those things have costs. And when you are the family of the person who has passed away and you're dealing with the sadness, the sorrow, the grief of their absence, and you are now talking to individuals who want to be included in the program, who want to wear a certain type of clothing or influence this or that, and they, even if they were to pay for it, but many times that's just not how it goes, can the family decide how they're going to grieve, how they're going to celebrate, how they're going to do the send-off of the loved one, if they choose to do it at all? This is the thought that I have regularly, and I know that I'm supposed to do more with it. But for the purpose of accountability, I wanted to record something and have this. So the Sarah model of grief says that we go through these phases. SARAH. Shock, anger, resistance, acceptance, and hope. We experience shock at the news of the loss of the individual, their presence no longer being here with us. They are no longer here. We become angered by that fact alone and any circumstances around it. Resist. We're resisting the possibility of this true, like this can't happen. And we might even check out in that phase. And then we get to the phase of acceptance. I may still be angry, but you know what? I have to accept that my dad, who passed away on July the 2nd, 2004, is no longer here. And hope can set in that life can continue. And it's life a new way, because life without them, to say life will be the same, is really not true. How could it be? So let's not inflate a phase that those who grieve go through, and that is the anger phase, by coming with external, selfish, individually motivated agendas, ideas. Be a support to the family. Help them. Ask them, how can you serve them? That's another chapter in this whole conversation, which would be a book. Coming to the house of the deceased family members, loved ones, and asking for certain things to be given to you as opposed to you showing up wanting to do something for them. We really need to rethink this grief thing. Now you done made me mad. I was sad. Now you done made me mad. Because I'm being presented with things that have nothing to do with the loss of my loved one. And I'm staring you in the face, listening to your selfish requests, desires, unsolicited suggestions, and ideas. Let's do better.